What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by our sponsors, Carnivore Shred. Carnivore Shred is a 2-in-1 thermogenic protein product. This thing is setting the world on fire. My man Roger's been on it for a couple weeks. Tell me a little bit about it, Roger.
Couple weeks now. Like Frankie said, I've been doing it for a couple weeks. Definitely the 2-in-1 protein thermogenic powder is definitely giving me results. Like I said, I've been on it for a few weeks now. As a matter of fact, I just tried on Frankie's t-shirt and it actually damn near fit me.
Listen, I'm taking the carnivore protein, so my mediums are not like regular mediums.
Mediums.
Listen, Carnivore Shred is a fat-burning, muscle-building solution featuring the power of carnivore beef protein isolate. Guys, this is delicious. Gets the job done. Check it out.
Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, F.E. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. We're never tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the champ and the tramp, let the bomb blast.
So we got a guest for you guys in the studio today, Christopher Sweeney. Christopher is a Jersey Shore native, lives in Florida now, but he went to Jacksonville to study art, and he's become, for lack of a better word, I don't know how to put it, a contemporary street artist, I guess is kind of what you're known for. You're known for your wall murals and things like that, but we've got some of your artwork in here that's prominently displayed. If you watch the podcast, you've seen it. Actually, Chris Sweeney created that piece right there.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Definitely a street artist. I do contemporary art, so stuff on canvas. I have stuff in galleries and stuff now, but it's been like a slow process, but now it's kind of taken off, and it's been the murals that really got me there.
So I saw lately, I went on your website today, I saw that you've actually done at least 2, maybe more, of your own art gallery shows, and you're actually you've done your art on a beer can for a brewery in Florida, right?
Yeah. So my first mural that I ever did was in Jacksonville.
Is that the Robot Heart one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's kind of the most well known, I think,
yeah,
right?
That's what blew everything up. So I did that mural. And then a local brewery asked if they could use that picture for one of their beers. So it's instead of the heart, it's like the robot pulling on some hops. And
that's dope.
What's the concept behind what it's known as XO Robot?
Yeah, so the eyes are XO, so like hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
So I'm a teacher along with being an artist, and I was teaching a lesson on like figure drawing, like drawing people. And I was explaining to the kids that like anything you draw just starts with shapes. So I had them call out shapes. So one of them said a square and then a circle, and it ended up turning into this robot. Now it looked nothing like what it looks like now, but I was like, oh, they really like it. So I started drawing it more and more, and I turned it into coloring sheets for the kids. And when the kids liked the coloring sheets, I was like, all right, I have something here. And then the first time I was offered a mural, I did him for the mural, and it just kind of like snowballed from there.
Yeah, I see your shirt. You
How did you get like the viral moment? Was it social media or local?
It was pretty much. So I did that one in Jacksonville, and then that gets in a newspaper and a magazine in Jacksonville, Florida. I live in Vero now, so I did just a heart being like pulled on in Vero, and it's like right in the center of downtown. And it was the first, like, Florida's very, unless you're in Miami, it's very old school when it comes to art. So you'll see like a lot of like birds and fish and stuff like that. So having like street art or graffiti almost in this, like, Vero Beach is a very classy little town, so it really stood out. So a lot of people started taking pictures with that one too, and then I started getting more opportunities to kind of travel and get to do it. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's learning to do stuff big is tough.
Yeah. How do you begin your career? Because graffiti is everywhere, right? You see graffiti everywhere. There's a place called the Brickyard. Or if you've ever been there, you should check it out while you're home. It's out in Chatsworth, off the railroad tracks. I guess it was an old brickyard back in the day, and there's a ton of graffiti out there. You go out there, and some of it is garbage. Some of it is just kids that look like they spray painted their name, like looks like something I would do. And then there's like really like extravagant, beautiful graffiti pieces out there. How do you art with a spray paint can has got to be hard. So how do you get good at that? I would think that you have to you would have to start tagging a lot of stuff and be basically vandalizing the shit out of stuff before you get good. No.
Yeah, well, so graffiti obviously is like the illegal version. So like now I'm doing street art because people are hiring me to do it.
Right, but how'd you get good at it?
So it was all practice. I started out back when I was in high school. I would do actual graffiti, and I did mostly stencils, like similar to your guys' painting I did for you guys. But and my family makes fun of me for this now. So back in high school, I used to have a stencil of my face, and I used to spray it all over the town. So like all down Seaside, my face. And then, like, I didn't tell my parents about it until I was in college. And my dad's like, "You're the only idiot that would do something illegal and literally put your face right on it for everybody to see." But the cool thing was we came back like right after Sandy, and one of my faces was still on. Like,
Get out of here. Get out of here.
There's nothing really left.
Now, is that what you're back for, or you're back to visit family? And because I know you're doing a piece at Funtown Pier, right, which is a legendary pier at the shore, at the boardwalk, the Jersey Shore Boardwalk. Did you come back specifically for that, or are you just back visiting family? And
I tried to plan everything. So my brother still lives here. My parents.
Pat, I know Pat. Yeah. I know him from the liquor store.
That's how. Yeah. Between Lou and that, we know everybody. But so I came back to see my brother because he's got 2 kids now.
Oh, wow. Does he? Wow.
Yeah. And my parents live in Lavalette, so I visited them, but I also planned it out. So like I went to Brooklyn first and did a small wall with like 5 other artists in Brooklyn, and then did this one, and then now I'm here with you guys.
So I'm curious where your start. I mean, obviously as a little kid, I'm sure. Yeah, you were good. But what's the first thing you ever tagged with the stencil? That's not really art because you're just taking I could do that, right? What was your first piece you ever did? Did you tag a train? Did you?
No. So my first like legitimate like wall like mural was the robot one that I did.
Oh, so that was your first. You never vandalized anything
other than like doing the stencil. Like
really? Wow. I thought you were gonna have a million stories about being in Seaside and
no. Well, I would paint
tagging cop
like
cars and
surfboards and skateboards and stuff. That's what I was mainly painting, and then it just kind of escalated from there.
All right.
But like art, you got art on your wrist. Obviously, it's important to you, right? You know.
Well, that's my students.
They made it for you.
They made it for me.
That's cool. That's cool. Very cool.
What grade?
I teach. So I'm the art teacher. So I teach kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
But I'm in like the dream school. My school's walking distance to the beach. In the other direction is an actual art museum, and I have a piece in the museum right now.
Get out of here.
And I did their like if you go to a museum, there's usually banners outside. Yeah. So like the banners for that museum are like hand painted by me and everything.
Oh, sick.
Is your goal to become so well known or so good as an artist you don't have to teach anymore, and is that the end game, or you just do it because you love it, and whatever happens with it?
It's kind of a mixture of both. Like I love teaching. Like I've wanted to be a teacher since I was little. My mom was a 2nd grade teacher, and then she was a librarian. So I knew I wanted to do something with education, but I also always loved art. So like originally I wanted to be a children's story author. Like I wanted to write and illustrate stories, and then I went into the education and was like, no matter what, I can do my art stuff on the side. And then now my art's picking up, but I don't think I'd ever leave teaching. Like it's the only job where I can actually still have my summers to do all my murals and have my winters to do it. So it kind of all works out.
Would you think about getting back to the children's books?
So I wrote my first one over winter break this year, which was just like a twist on the gingerbread man, but I made the gingerbread man like a mermaid and just did all these like nautical drawings for it. And then since my like robots like did so well, I made a bunch of like robot coloring books.
Ah, very cool.
So like
my kids will love that. You leaving one of those for me?
I got both
awesome
for you guys.
Nice.
Awesome.
But yeah, I did a bunch of coloring books, and like those started doing really well too, because that's how everything started. And the cool thing is, it's a lot of the sketches I was doing for my murals are what are in the coloring books. I just turned them into the pages after.
Ah, that's awesome.
Now, this might sound like a weird question, but let me ask it, and let me give a little into why can Pat draw? Because
no.
Yeah, see, isn't that weird? Because like Frankie has 3 kids, right? One of them is a standout wrestler, right? And we were just talking about it before he came out. I think he was just born that way. I think he was just born with a certain drive and a certain passion. And like my son is a good artist. He's a really good artist. And his sister's probably not as good. I'm a horrible artist. Their mother is a great artist. So do you think that's something that you're just kind of born with?
Yes and no. I mean, I have family members that are artists and stuff, but like I think to be any kind of creative, you have to have it in you, like to push yourself. And just like with anything, like with fighting with you, there's a lot of practice that's involved. Like if you look at some of my drawings from 5-10 years ago, they're nothing compared to what I'm doing now.
Right.
So it's all just it's just not giving up.
I do agree.
passionate about it.
I do agree with you. He puts time into the gym. There's guys that put time. I still don't think that's it though. I think, especially with fighting, at least,
Well, he's saying it, but he's kind of saying like, yeah, you're no matter what you do, you're gonna have to put time in it to get good at it. But
Right.
you gotta have
to
the
be passionate
passion
about
to
it.
want to do it. I would think, you know.
Yep.
And I think that it maybe, I don't know if you're born with that passion, or something strokes you at a young age that piques your interest.
I've always been that way though. Like, because even in school, like I was that kid that I'd be listening, like, but I was always drawing in my notebooks and stuff. Like, I like to joke around. Like, I'm a good teacher now, but I was a terrible student.
I was drawing S's. You know the S's? That's all I was drawing.
I do remember kids when I was younger, whatever, 3rd, 4th grade, that were just amazing. I never could draw. I can't draw a stick man. But I remember kids in my class that I was like, holy shit, look at that. How can they be that good and I'm this bad?
I have students that are like that.
Yeah.
It impresses me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll show them how to do something, and then 2 days later they're doing it better than I was doing. And like, I guess that's great for me. But it's like, eventually I'm like, you guys don't really need me anymore.
There's a little bit of a funny story. Correct me if I have this story wrong, but Lou told me he was friends with you. I checked out your work, and we were in the infancy of this podcast, and he said, do you want Chris to make you a piece? And I was like, that would be amazing. You made it, saw a picture of it, but you're in Florida, and I think it was like, what was it, like $300 to ship that up here or something? I think it took like a year to get it up here, right? It was like a year-long endeavor, because I think either you made a trip or somebody in your family made a trip and brought it up, but the shipping was ridiculous on it.
That's a lot of the stuff. Some of the paintings I've even sold, I'll like tell the person the price and be like, and you got to pay for the shipping.
Yeah.
So it's like after they paid the price, they like don't even. They're like, oh. I had one family that hired me to do one like that, and I did the whole entire painting. And then like after the fact, they're like, "Can you change this and this?" I'm like, "It's not Photoshop. You can't just switch things around."
Yeah.
But I did one for you a long time ago.
Yes, actually. That's right. Oh my God, a small piece. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Holy shit.
It was when the kids were little.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I forgot about that until you just said it. Yeah, it was a smaller piece. I do remember that. Yeah, that was in my house for a while. I still have it. I believe because I redid my house. I believe it's in the attic now, but okay. I do have it. I still have it.
My style is way different now, so it's fine.
Yeah. What do you enjoy doing the most? You enjoy wall art, or do you enjoy the mural stuff outdoor?
I mean, I make more money when I do the wall art, I guess that's a little bit better.
Yeah, right.
But murals are just fun because it's fun when people are walking up and watching you do it. And then the coolest thing is like a few of my good pieces are like next to like restaurants, and I'll go to some of the restaurants and be eating while people are taking pictures in front of the wall, and they don't even know like that I did it. So I was like, that's like the coolest feeling.
Yeah. That's sick. Is that original piece that you did, still there to this day?
Yeah, that one's still
there.
I had to go one time because someone tagged it, and I had to fix it up. But that's the only time I really touch it.
And I can't imagine you get a lot of taggers in Vero Beach, right?
No, so that one's in Jacksonville. So
that
one's close to the city. But in Vero now, nothing's ever happened to any of them. And actually, as soon as I get back, I'm doing like a whole giant wall with a bunch of artists.
You said you were where? Brooklyn, and you did a piece?
Yeah.
Do you walk around the city and check out like some of the
and I've made friends with a few artists. It's cool. So the Brooklyn one I just did, it was myself and like 5 other artists, and one of the artists that painted like is one of the artists like doesn't show his face, like you don't know who he really is, but I've met him before, so like he's up there like looking at the spot, and I'm like talking to him, and he's like looking around like making sure no one knows that he's going to paint it later that night.
No shit.
Yeah, but it's
so taggers. Not taggers, guys that do spray paint their stuff. They always tag their name usually, don't they?
Yeah. So like most of them, it's almost like a rapper. Like they have like some kind of tag name.
Right.
So like the most famous probably is Cause, who has like the Cause figures and dolls.
Who's the guy up and down the Parkway? It was nothing, no art. It was just literally.
It was just his name.
K something.
Kid.
Yeah.
But he was famous for he
did craziest stuff.
So with that stuff, it's who can get their piece usually in the most like visual area.
Yeah.
So when you get to the city or even like Jersey City and stuff, you'll see stuff like on the top of buildings, and I like think about that. I'm like, how there's someone.
Yeah. It's always in
that
a precarious
obsessed with being famous that they want to hang off the building and do it.
Not for me.
Water towers, you see it a lot on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, God made me tall for a reason. I didn't climb this.
Yeah.
Did you ever do like any other art? Like use your art for any other avenues, like tattoo stuff like that?
So right out of college, when I was trying to figure out what I want to do with art, I taught myself how to tattoo.
Does it translate? It's weird.
So like I'm used to when you sketch something, you can erase. But with tattoo, there's none of that. So like I have one anchor on my leg that I did to myself that came out pretty solid. But I have a few friends that I tattooed that have like wonky lines going all over the place.
Really?
Like, I don't know. My girlfriend wants me to do one on her, and I'm just like, I'm still nervous because it's such a different thing. Like the way you have to stretch and pull the skin, and just like knowing
how can you practice too? You can't like. Is there ways to practice tattoo artists?
They make like silicone skin that you can like practice everything on, but it's the same thing. It's not exactly and I feel like. I don't know. Everybody's skin is probably like different too. Yeah. So like,
and plus, it doesn't hurt silicone. It hurts.
Don't most tattoo guys though? Don't they become like interns or whatever at tattoo shops and do that for years before they can actually become like a? They get like walk-ins that are like want $50 tattoos and be like, you go to Johnny over here. He's the.
They have like apprenticeships.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Even like old heads that do like graffiti, they studied under someone.
Really.
At the same time, I feel like. Some probably tattoo artists and stuff probably learned by themselves.
What for those guys? I know that you're not it, but you know those guys, and you do something very similar. Yours is a little more legit, but those guys that tag stuff and graffiti artists and things like that, is it just clout? Because they don't get paid. Obviously, they just want the name recognition and be like, "I'm the best."
They've just been doing it forever. So like, some of them, I've met a few that like didn't like me because doing it to get on in like galleries and stuff. They're like, we're just doing it for to put our name on the wall. I'm like,
yeah. What's the point?
I do it because I love art. But you get that even like when I've had gallery shows. Like I've done stuff in Miami, and you deal with people that are like really. I don't know how to like explain. I'm sure you guys have even run into like. There'll be an artist that'll be like, oh, this piece is it reminds me of a flower from this. I'm like, I like cartoons and robots. I painted this.
You were always into cartoons as a kid?
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite cartoon?
I mean, probably Scooby-Doo. But like that's why like my robot has like the white gloves and everything, just like the classic cartoons we grew up with.
I just I think they were interviewing at All-Star game, the home run derby, and they were saying, hey, I seen that you put your favorite superhero as Scooby-Doo. And he's like, how can you explain he's a superhero? He's like, well, he's a dog and he could talk. And he's like,
it's true.
He's got a point.
It's true.
He solves mysteries. Oh, man. Yeah, cartoons I love cartoons. I like old school cartoons more so. But that's Tom and Jerry.
I was watching one last night. I guess it's still a cartoon, but it's an adult cartoon. I was watching Family Guy, which I never thought I would watch a cartoon as an adult, but it's hysterical. And I swear he predicts the future. He does so many things.
The Simpsons.
I'm sorry, The Simpsons. You're right. I'm sorry. Yes, The Simpsons.
Well, just like there was a documentary on South Park that talked about how like they will come up with the idea on Monday, animate it the next day, and then put it out on Friday. Like, that's how they're so relevant.
Right.
Like back in the day, you used to take a year to like, put out a cartoon or a movie.
Yeah, remember like going to the old Walt Disney where you look into the thing and you roll, and it would literally be a picture that changed like just a fraction, and that's how they used to do like cartoons, right?
Yeah, they would just flip them back.
That's what Roger grew up with.
Like
that's what I grew up with. Yeah, showing my age. Yeah, it's definitely different now.
But
has that ever interested you at all? Like doing animation?
I did want to do like cartoons or animation, but nowadays because everything's done on computers, it was more math than it was art. Like so, like they were getting the kids that could like program on the computers, and I can't do that.
Right.
Like, I'll draw the cartoon and then
more
have
the creative side.
What they used to call it, like HTML code or something they call it. Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, something like that. Like I just started. I'm turning my robot into a toy now. So I'm doing the 3D printing, and that in itself, like I had to draw the design, but then I still had to hire a graphic designer to turn it into like an actual 3D image.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, I don't know how to do it. I drew every corner of him like in the sketch, but I had to like send them to someone else.
What about NFTs? That was huge for a while. And did you ever dabble in that? I felt like every artist that had some skill level was going to be the next great NFT guy, and that kind of just fell off, right?
I tried it, but I didn't understand it. So I had some, like I minted some, but like I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to value it or even anything with crypto. And then all of a sudden, like it was huge, like you said, and then out of nowhere, just nobody cared about it. So, like I have a few on there, but I haven't made any money from it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
I think the whole crypto thing is in the garbage right now.
No,
It's just-
no, it's not. I
It's
mean,
not?
Certain things are up, but like it doesn't make
Bitcoin's
sense.
back up to over 30.
It's like the only one that's steadfast, though, right?
Ethereum's
It's the
on.
only one.
Ethereum's almost at 2,000
I thought
too.
mine was down. Wasn't
No,
it down?
it's
I just looked at it. I thought it was down today.
Down like from yesterday,
Yeah.
but
It's
still
always,
like
like,
it's like 18,
fluctuating.
19.
Well, where was the reference point this up from? You're talking about
No,
3 days ago?
Well, no, I'm just saying it was up to like 5 at one
Yeah.
point, but now it's like it was down to like 1,000. Now it's something it's working its way back up. Even Bitcoin, but who knows?
Yeah, that's something I'm just not knowledgeable about. I dabbled in it because I was like, let me
Oh,
get
that's
in
something-
just in
That's
case.
even another thing, not
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
another
yeah,
thing
yeah.
he's not knowledgeable about.
No, that's the-
It's his favorite thing to do is pick on me. Makes him feel better about himself.
It does.
Feels good.
He's so tall.
I'm taller than him.
Yeah, exactly. Both of you. I got to make fun of both of you, I guess.
Yeah, we did the episode that you just referenced, dude. Frankie made a comment as just humor.
Joke.
It was a joke. If anybody watches, it was a joke.
No, but if you
And-
listen to the rest of the podcast,
Oh
you can see
my
it's a
God!
joke.
They came for him, and
I
he doesn't get ripped on a lot. And they're calling him. These women are calling him a runt and stuff.
I know what
I was
you're
because
talking
he picks on me every show, so I was loving it. I was reading the comments. I was like,
So
oh my
good.
God,
So good.
yeah.
You gotta make sure he does that every episode.
I know, I know.
If they're listening, go make me a sandwich.
You're gonna start calling it the Tramp and the Tramp.
Yeah, right. You're right. But come on, I'm little. It's okay. I'm little, everybody. I'm little.
Runt.
I look real little right now too. That's the thing. I had the last episode's fucking Frank's a big dude too, and I'm between this guy and you. And now I'm between. Come on,
We
I
always
can't win.
we always take a picture at the end. Frankie's gonna be in the middle on this one.
We'll both just go on our knees next time.
yeah. Oh man.
Oh
So
shit!
you have you a wife or anything like that, or
No,
married?
I got a girlfriend.
A girlfrind. Okay.
Yeah, we actually teach at the same school.
Oh wow.
so, yeah.
She wa-
Did you
she
meet?
wants
Did
to-
you meet
She
down
wants to
there?
do the tattoo on her. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow. Well, I'm not the brightest as we know. Did you guys meet at school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a fourth grade teacher.
Oh, that's cool. Art teacher also?
No,
No.
she just teaches fourth grade, and then
It's not frowned on. Nothing in the
So-
policy about dating fellow teachers. You're just totally
I don't think
legit.
so. Keep it professional at work.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah, so we started out this podcast roughly 4 years ago. Our mutual friend Lou was our producer at the time. He did our first 50 episodes and just kind of figured it out. Like, he didn't know what he was doing, but we didn't know what we were doing either. Figured it out. And Lou was supposed to come in with you. Lou is our mutual friend between everybody here, and Lou ghosted us tonight. So
We used to call him Lugal.
Lou.
You know what I mean? Because he looked some stuff up.
Yes, he would. Yeah.
Lou to glue.
Big perm. Big perm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've known him for. He used to work at the liquor store. That my dad was a liquor salesman. So
Yes.
that's how my family got in touch with him.
Oh, wow, all right.
And then my brother worked with him.
Lou owned a liquor store for a bit.
Liquor. I have a couple couple buddies there in the liquor business, like liquor salesman. What's the company? It's a big company.
Shoreboy?
Not Short Point. They're like in the country, one of the bigger companies. Not Safe. Isn't like Safeway's one or no?
Nobody.
Let's say.
Don't know.
I don't know. Well, whatever. Yeah.
Well, someone works
It
there.
was. I forget
So,
the name of it.
What's the piece you just did at Funtown Pier? Obviously, Frankie and I are very familiar. That pier barely made it through Sandy, but
Have you seen it since they fixed it up?
no, yeah, I've seen. I've been there with my kids. Yeah.
Okay, because it looks beautiful now because
Yeah.
they have all like the cabanas and stuff set up.
Kiosks and all that.
Yeah. So it's on. I guess it wouldn't be like a trailer. It's like it's where they keep all the furniture and stuff in it.
Oh, on a what do they call those? The steel boxes there. Yeah.
So I did it on that, and it's oceanfront. And originally they just wanted to say something with Funtown Beach.
Did you do it today?
I did it.
Bro, it was like 150 degrees today. You must have been dying.
No, I did it yesterday, but it was still just as bad. And the worst part is because it was a metal wall, like the heat was just
it's pushing
radiating
off
off
it,
of
yeah.
it, and there's no wind.
Yeah.
But
So what is the piece you did?
so it's my robot like holding a surfboard.
Yeah.
But then I did. They said like just draw some nautical stuff, so I just went up to it with like a Sharpie marker, just like sketched everything out, and I did an octopus, a shark, a crab, and I tried to get them holding like all different Jersey things. So the crab has like a ice cream. The shark has like a margarita, and then after the fact, I was like, I should have like a seagull with like a pizza in its mouth or something.
With some hair gel.
Yeah. I should have drew
Snooki with a cheese ball in her mouth.
just the Jersey Shore crowd with my robot. Put some spikes on my robot's hair.
How long does something like that take?
So when I start one, like I usually get in the zone and just want to get it done. So like this one took 2 days.
Wow.
But like my Brooklyn one, I did it in about 4 hours, just because, like I said, I just start going and then I do it. Like
Now the Brooklyn one is your piece is your own separate piece, or it's a piece of a bigger piece that other artists are involved in.
You know, like the storefronts, like any like bodegas, like where they pull down those grates.
Yeah.
So it was myself and like 6 other artists. It's each one of us had our own,
like garage door kind of.
How does that come to fruition? Does the bodega owner reach out to you? How does that work?
They did for this one. So I had actually painted this one about 4 years ago, like right before COVID hit. Like I did this wall, and the craziest thing about this one, they had me come down, I painted it, and then one of my buddies lived in Brooklyn at the time. I stayed with him, came back to Jersey. I get a phone call from like a random New York number, and it's CBS, like the television company. I'm thinking it's my friend like fucking with me. I'm like, what are you doing? Apparently they were filming the show FBI, and there was like a chase scene, and they needed my approval because they run past my mural.
No way.
So they told me like the time, the day. That I was like, absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I told like all my friends and family to watch it. If you blinked, you wouldn't even see it. So I was like, it was such a bust, but it was still pretty cool,
That's
to have like my name in the credits as like artist on
funny.
it.
Yeah, very cool.
So I got a call totally off topic here, but I was at work today. I see Bank of America pop up on my phone. I'm like, oh shit! This
They got fined 150 million,
bro.
But they made like 500 million.
No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You can elaborate on that in a minute. But I answer the phone, and it's some dude with a heavy accent that says, is this Roger Matthews? I said, yes. We've detected a fraud alert. A checking account has been opened in your name. So I'm like, I didn't open a checking account. And then I was like, wait a minute, where was this open? And click, it hangs up. So I'm like, the fuck, that's weird. So I pull up my Bank of America card. I find the 800 number on back, and I call. But on my phone, it says Bank of America, the number that called me, 1-800, whatever, whatever. Looks legit as shit. I call this lady. I get in touch with this lady that actually, and she's like, that's a total scam. That's happening to everybody. So be warned. Bank of America calls you. Don't answer any questions.
I still get telemarketer calls all the time. And like because I still got my 609 number, even though I live in
Do you
Florida.
really?
So all the numbers are all numbers. Like, but I'll get calls from New Jersey, and like I know it's not my friends or family. That's how I know it's like it's not a real person.
Yeah, but that's like I get those a lot, but this was like an 800 number that said Bank of America on it. You know what I mean? So obviously it was a scam. But as soon as I started asking questions, the guy just hung up. But anyway, regardless, what are you talking about?
No, I said something today about Bank of America or yesterday that they got fined 150 million, but
for what?
For I forget, for like holding people's money, not giving them money or something, or messing up their balances, something. But it's 150 million to them is nothing. It's a drop in a bucket. They don't care. In the process, they probably made 100 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Chris, are you a MMA UFC fan?
I mean, I'll watch certain stuff.
Yeah.
I knew who he was.
Okay. All right.
And then, like, podcast-wise, like, I'll listen to, like, Fighter and the Kid with Shab.
Yeah.
So
now you're listening to Champ and the Tramp. Now's your new favorite one, though, right?
I've listened 100%. To you guys since Lou told me about it.
Awesome.
So I've been there since the beginning. You guys started, I think, during COVID, right?
We did.
Pretty much right before COVID started.
We would have started a year earlier, but Frankie's not really good with the communication, so he didn't really.
No, Roger's a bozo. That's what it is.
We've told the story 100 times, but basically it was a miscommunication where he'd asked me if I was interested in doing a podcast, but the way he phrased it, I just thought he was asking me if I was in the podcast, and I was like, nah, not really, you know what I mean? And a year later, a mutual friend of ours, Chris Ligori, is like, you guys should do a podcast. I was like, was that what he was talking about a year ago? And he's like, yeah. But Frankie's...
Now, how did you guys like link up as friends and everything?
I guess we have mutual friends, right? So maybe like 20 years ago, mutual friends, and I was just a big fan. I've always been. I'm not a big sports guy, but I've always been into UFC. Always from UFC 1, I've always watched it. So of course, like I have friends that know fucking Frankie Edgar, the guy that beat Tyson.
Roger. Long story short, Roger used to cut my lawn.
Yeah, basically, I would have at the time. I would have done it for free. But anyway, mutual friends, started seeing him, in different places, and then I guess how I weaseled my way in. He started like an MMA class, and I weaseled my way in, and we kind of became friends after that. So
cool.
Yeah.
Almost died in front of him.
He did. He did almost die.
Crashed it. Well, he almost ran me over. I almost ended his UFC career. I was showing off in front of Frankie Yeager, riding a wheelie, trying to really like probably the best wheelie of my life, and I crashed basically, and right in front of Frankie, and I
almost had to go around him.
Took him out.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
he was all right though.
It was good. I bounced.
As we could tell.
I hit my head, so I'm good. So what's next for you, Chris? What's next? What's next in the art world?
So like I said, when I get back, I'm doing a wall with a bunch of artists in Vero.
Mm-hmm.
And then in October, I'm doing my first like big solo show in Jacksonville. It's a gallery called Gallery 725. Who they found me just on Instagram. I go to their gallery. They have guys that like have been around since like the 80s. They were telling me their last show was a photographer that was famous for taking shots of 80s like rock bands. And they said,
"Oh wait, what's his name? We had him on the show."
I have no idea, but they were saying like the most valuable photo that they had was one of Def Leppard before their drummer got in the accident and lost his arm, so he had both arms.
Oh, get out of here!
Yeah. So
I'm drawing a blank, Frankie.
Danny Clinch.
Danny Clinch. You ever heard of Danny Clinch?
No.
He's from the Jersey Shore.
He's very well known for photographing musicians.
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't say it. Musicians. And,
Bruce Springsteen specifically, I think.
Yeah, and he's got a couple books out. But
he did Tupac's Thug Life, where his hands behind his back. That's his. He did,
Oh, really?
I have his book here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'll find it for you. Take a look at it before you leave. But yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. So you're doing that.
So I have that show, and then after that, like Miami does it's called Art Basel. It's like
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. That's huge. They just had that. That just happened like a month ago, right?
So Art Basel, they'll do like Art Week and stuff like that, but Art Basel is usually in December, and it's like all the biggest artists in the country come, and they'll redo all the murals there. They're like that's where a lot of like big name people come to buy.
I went one year. Now that you said that, because they had all the palm trees with Christmas lights on it. So yeah, I do remember. I did Art Basel one year. Yeah,
it's a cool event. So I've gotten to like live paint at that. So like they had it was like sponsored by like Monster, so it had people like doing like BMX and stuff while I was like live painting. It's crazy. Cool. It's a whole different atmosphere there. Like Miami, like people are walking
the culture.
Around. Yeah,
right,
it's crazy. But I haven't figured out what I want to do for that yet. Like a few galleries do shows, and you gotta like, it's all like finagling your way in. It's such a
politics.
That's really all it is. It's all politics and just like who you know and like. I had like some galleries that said I have a gallery that was in like the area I live that said no to me and like didn't want to have any of my pieces in there, like it doesn't fit our like aesthetic. And then as soon as they saw that I did stuff with the museum, they're like, we've been thinking about like reaching out to you. A month ago you didn't like my work. Now you think I'm talented. So.
Well, I guess that's the nature of that business, right? It's like everybody wants what's hot right now.
Yeah. Well, I did one show. And like I'm known for like my robots and my hearts and stuff, and I had landed this solo show, and all the other artists that are in the show had like painted like horses and Florida kind of stuff, but then magically for my show they all painted like hearts and like, happy things. Like you changed your whole style to like fit what my stuff was.
Right.
So
that's nothing new though, right? That's always been around, right?
It's always there's a book, like a famous book that's called Steal Like an Artist, and it's all about like how once one artist figures out something, then someone else is doing like the exact same thing. Like
what's the saying? Impersonation is the sincerest form of flattery. Yeah.
And I get it. Like at a certain point, I'm like, oh, that's great. You get, but if their stuff sells and mine doesn't, then it's
true. That is true. I guess you got to protect it a little bit, but how can you? Because you've got to get exposure. You got to put it out there, right? Yeah.
How would people reach out to you if like they want to? Is that how it happens? Like, are you like on a database or?
We have a website.
I have my website, which is just like XO Sweeney Art, and then Instagram. Like most of my sales and like contacts have just been through people that found me on Instagram, or they took pictures with one of my murals and like reached out to me and stuff. It's a process. Like for me, I had gotten, like I said, all those murals, and then COVID hit, and it just plateaued because nobody was spending the extra money on anything,
Right.
especially like a painting for their house.
Right.
So like now it's like now I'm trying to build back up that fan base and clientele. Like so in Vero, my biggest client was I had done a piece for Jake Owen, the country singer, because he's from Vero, and like that helped with getting my name out there. And then, like I said, everything just kind of like shut down. Like the whole world shut down.
Yeah,
and
right.
Now it's,
We're gonna add like 17 new viewers to your
that's fine.
Your art here. So, awesome, man. So your website you shouted out, Instagram you shouted out. You got to sign the board before you leave for sure.
Absolutely.
We got all of our guests that have been here for the last 100 episodes or so have signed that. So definitely sign that. Yeah, man. We appreciate the piece that you made for us.
Yeah, this
love
is
it.
cool.
That's great. It's
I'm sorry it took so
for a
long to
while.
get
I think we had it over there, but now we got it right front and center. So
Yeah.
looks cool, man. Appreciate it. All right, brother. Chris Sweeney, man. Good having you in, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you what you do, and thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for the
Yeah. Show that.
shirts for you guys
This is
and
dope.
some coloring books.
Yeah, my kids are
This
gonna
is
love
cool
those.
shit, man. Yeah, that's dope.
That's
I
badass.
like it.
like
I
it?
like it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Would have brought more, but I was just in a
Is that a
small
No,
suitcase.
yeah,
Is
no.
that
all
a
good, man.
medium?
Yeah,
Medium.
extra small.
What's up, Franklin?
Roger.
Got the
What if we, can I call you Roger?
Rogert.
Yeah.
Where's the joke?
I'm just saying that's gotta be a good name. Roger.
Never heard of
Like
Roger.
Herbert. Right, Herbert. Roger.
I call
That's
you.
not a name?
I call you Franklin.
Frankfurt. Roger.
Roger. Yogurt.
Yeah.
Don't hurt.
Smoke shirts.
You're one of my weirdest friends. You definitely are. It was good hanging out with you this weekend. Got to hang with the crew a little bit over at Steve's beach house. He's got a nice spot over there.
It's cool, right? Got dock and the beach.
Took the jet ski over, me and the boy. Yep.
You had fun.
Had fun. He did have fun. He playing around. Grayson loves being around any kids at all. He don't care. He just has. Always finds his way. Melani's my shy one. She takes a minute to warm up. Grayson jumps right in the mix, but
That's just boys, I think.
yeah,
Boys are little.
Why V takes a minute to warm up?
Yeah, for sure.
Does she? Yeah,
Definitely.
Melanie definitely can be my shy child.
No,
Did you take V to go see Barbie over the weekend?
I did not. I will not. Did you see my wife's post?
About it?
You didn't see my wife's post?
No. Did she
My
go
dau-
see it?
No, my daughter texted. She looked at my daughter's texts, and her friend texted her saying, "Hey, would you want to go see Barbie?" And my daughter texts, "No, I'm not allowed to see Barbie because my mom said Barbie's a hoe."
Oh,
But I heard about Barbie. I did hear.
I heard about it.
I don't know. I heard it was just like definitely.
I know a bunch of people not a bunch of people. I know a few people, including my girl, that went to go see it and walked out. They said
walked out?
They couldn't take it. Yeah,
Because why? Because
just too woke for them.
Too woke.
Too woke.
Damn.
Too woke.
Like Ryan Gosling is Ken,
Yeah,
but he's getting pegged by Barbie.
that didn't really happen, did it?
No, I don't know.
No, I don't know. Probably wouldn't. Listen, wouldn't surprise me. She didn't say. She just said it was horrible when they walked out. So don't know.
No. Would you go see it?
No,
You wouldn't go see it?
no.
Would you let your daughter see it?
I mean, if her mom wanted to take her, nothing I can do about it. But I wouldn't take her. No.
But I don't know. Is it just Barbie? Is it a sexualization of Barbie and shit like that?
Don't know. I mean, I don't know.
This is the first Barbie movie. There was no other Barbie movies since we were kids.
I mean, probably a cartoon one, probably, and this is the first live.
Okay, yeah.
I would assume there's got to be a cartoon version. It's like Snow White. It started in like 1937 as a cartoon version, right? And now the new one is going to be live characters.
I heard you're gonna play the Sleepy Dwarf.
Yeah.
Right? They're not using dwarves.
I hear that's going to be a very
They're not using
woke
dwarves
movie as well.
They're not using dwarves.
I think there's one.
They're asking short people.
I think there's one.
I might give a shot. I got a shot.
You got
I got a shot.
What's your take on that? That Disney seems to be replacing all traditional characters seem to be getting
And
replaced.
I heard the character was like, "This is the 21st century. I'll be damned if I'm getting saved by a prince."
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with that? These bitches don't want to get swept off their feet no more?
So that movie, originally, obviously the cartoon version, I think came out in 1937, right? Wasn't that what Marky said?
Yeah, something like that.
37, right?
Was that the first Disney one, Snow White?
I believe so. Came out in 37. So 39 was World War II, right?
I guess, yeah.
How many women do you think died in World War II?
Oh, I don't know, probably 0.
In the battlefield, I don't think any, but like 500.
Maybe as a nurse.
500 women died in World War II.
Yeah. Well, like
nursing,
civilians,
like,
or
like
something.
as nurses,
okay.
Maybe bombed in the line of duty, whatever. Something like 580,000 men, American men, died in the line of duty. I think it was in the millions that actually died.
Yeah. It was the biggest,
all,
the bloodiest war of all time, right?
All total was definitely in the millions, but
was that the bloodiest of all time?
I'm not sure. I'd have to research it. I don't know, but it's certainly one of them.
When would you research something like that?
I would wait till the camera pans to you, and then I would jump on Google real quick. But anyway, my point is, men were heroes back then. You know what I mean? So you could look to a male figure to be an heroic, play a heroic figure or heroic role, but look what they're doing to that masculine role now. They're completely destroying it.
Yeah, it's. I don't understand it actually. I mean, I do understand it because they're trying to demasculate us so they can control us. That's what I think.
1,000%. And I think it comes, it's definitely comes in the form of Hollywood, right? Movies. Obviously, social media is a big platform for demasculating men. Schools, look what's going on in New Jersey right now, right?
But I'll tell you what, they make kids have to wear a mouth guard if they have braces to wrestle. That's some pussy ass shit too, I think.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I'm like, I know. When I was a kid, I had braces.
Listen,
and you know what happened? You know what happened? I got cross-faced and I had bloody lips. That's what happened. I lived.
I don't know much about wrestling. Don't you have to wear? Not have to, but aren't you supposed to wear a mouth guard anyway?
Negative.
No.
Never worn one in my life.
Never. Okay. All right. Oh, ear guards too, right? You don't have to wear those, right? A lot of kids do. But
you have to, yes. Some
have
in
to.
school you have to, but like freestyle you don't have to. Certain tournaments you don't have to, but in school, I mean not in practice, but in matches you have to. Yeah.
You do. Why is that? So you don't get qualified?
You shouldn't have to do anything. You should. To me, like I shouldn't have to. It's my ears. It's my teeth. What are you telling me? I got to wear it. Like, in Russia, you think those guys that you got to put your mouthpiece on? You got to put your headgear on? Hell no.
Yeah.
They're wrestling.
I think it doesn't come down to where, government gets involved. I mean, the schools basically are run by the government, right? Where does that line get drawn? I mean, should you said you should be able to do whatever you want? I'm being facetious here, obviously, but should high school kids they be able to do steroids if they want?
No, because then that just changes the level playing field.
First of all, you wouldn't know in high school, right? Because nobody's tested, so you technically could probably get away with it.
I guess you don't get tested in high school, right?
You could get away with it. I mean, you'd probably be an absolute monster.
I bet you I've probably coached kids that's on steroids in high school.
Probably. But I'm saying, for you, okay, for like not wearing your seatbelt, right? It's against the law. It's a federal law or state law.
I think.
Do you believe?
Yes, I believe I should be able to not wear my seatbelt.
So my question to you is like, where do you think that?
Where's the line drawn?
Where's the line?
No,
line
like
for
okay,
you? Your personal freedoms.
Yeah, no, as long as I'm not hurting someone else. Like drinking and driving, like that makes sense because I'm going to drive into someone else and kill someone else that had nothing to do with it. But I mean, a seatbelt, it's my life on the line here.
Similar to getting vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
Right. You're only if the vaccine saves lives, which obviously we learned doesn't, but that's what they were saying then. And I didn't want to get it. That's about my personal health and well-being, right? So yeah. So I guess I would agree with you. As long as it pertains to my own personal health and well-being, it should be totally up to my own judgment.
So that's pretty much it.
Right.
Like, I should be able to fight. Me and you should be able to go outside and fight till the fucking end of it, right?
100% agree with that.
As long as we both agreed.
Yep.
And that's it.
Well, you used to be able to duel, right? You used to be able to go the whole town to come and watch. It would be an agreed upon
duel I read
to
about
the death.
Aaron Burr and was it Jackson? Burr killed Jackson? Aaron Burr killed Jackson, right? Yeah. Well, supposedly they did the duel. Supposedly Jackson didn't want to do the duel. Burr's the one that really pushed for it. Jackson went and shot like above his head as a gentlemanly thing. And
the other guy
he went boom, shot him right in the fucking stomach, killed him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Yeah.
You wonder how that really went down.
Exactly.
Like, did they do the 10 paces?
I mean, it was kind of stupid to shoot over his head. So you're saying he trusted his rival that he wouldn't shoot him?
Right.
Yeah.
It must have.
Yeah. And you're pointing guns at each other, yet you trust your rival? I don't know about that one. I think
you're better off to just scrap.
Yeah, I agree. But the problem...
Because you live to fight another day.
I agree. Listen, how many...
Come on, Craig.
How many street fights
Craig.
would you guess?
You know what that's from? Do you know what that movie that's from?
Yeah, that's from Friday, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Friday, great movie. How many street fights would you estimate you've been in your life?
I don't know.
Roughly.
Not that many. Not that many. People are like, 100 on the streets. No, I didn't get that many. I got a few. Quite a few.
10?
Probably more than
20?
Yeah, about something like that.
I would say about the same.
Probably more than anybody else that I grew up. Like, grew up in.
You were the scrapper?
But it wasn't like crazy.
Would you kill that fly right now for me? Guys on your face. That's how safe that fly feels. You got him?
No.
That's the second time we've had a fly in here. It drives me nuts. But anyway, in all the fights I've ever been in, which has been a lot, street fights, obviously I'm talking about, I've only ever ended up in court one time. And it wasn't because I pressed charges.
Yeah, no, I ended up in court, never for fighting.
Never for fighting? Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
For getting in my car once.
For getting out of your car?
Yeah, and some I told this story. Yeah, I got in my car. The guy was trying to, the guy was drunk as hell. I was probably 17. Had my buddy Kurt with me, and two girls driving down the road, and then the lady like comes and like almost hits me. I move over. So then whatever, goes to the light. Like she's like kind of trying to get at me. So then I'm like, what? I get out of the car. Like, what the fuck are you doing? The guy's like hammering. He's like, giving us the finger. I'm like, come on, motherfucker, get out. You know, stupid shit. And then nothing happened. I think Kurt moved.
So because
Kurt moved
you
him.
were the aggressor?
Dude, literally, I didn't touch the car. I didn't touch them. I said, get out, blah, blah, let's go. Nothing happened. The light turned green. We took off. I went to a party. My cousin was at a party. And like 15, 20 minutes later, they're like, hey, who owns the white car out there? I'm like, that's me. Oh, they're looking for you. And then they must have followed us. And while they followed us, they called the cops. And they were both pretty drunk. So as I'm walking out, the lady's getting in my face, and I'm like talking to the cops, like, you fucking believe this bitch? You know what I mean? Like, look at her crazy. She's chasing me. You know?
Why do the cops tend to side with her if you didn't do anything?
Because I was a kid, and that's what cops are.
Right.
You know.
So they can ride around. I mean, you don't know for a fact.
That's I don't know if they really didn't take my side. I didn't get arrested that night. I didn't get arrested. You know, they just took the report down and whatever. And then
you said you ended up in court.
Yeah, I had to go to because they pressed charges.
What's the charge?
Assault. She said I got out and shook her car. I was shaking her car, which I didn't. That was not true at all.
Right. So if there's no physical evidence and you don't admit to it, they drop the charge, right?
No.
So
I was 17, so I wasn't 18, so they really couldn't try me as an adult. So I went to juvenile committee court first.
Right.
So let's try to mediate this. I'm like, yeah. So they try to catch you in lies and everything. And I told it how it was. Like, how can you repeat it again? I'm like, just exactly how I said it. That's how I'm gonna say it again. You know. And the lady wanted nothing to do with mediation. Nothing. Nope. She was just a bitch. Wouldn't even look at me. This and that. So then I had to go to court. It was like probably a year later. You know what I mean? Or like 6 months later. Now I'm a senior in high school, and the girl that I was in the car had to come with me and stuff. And I'm not dating her no more. You know, I had to come to court and we're in court, and like I thought we were gonna get called up and have to make a testimony or whatever. And the guy showed up, but the wife didn't, and they got a divorce. So the guy was like, "Fuck, I'm not this crazy bitch." You know what I mean? So he's like, "I'm dropping all charges." So I mean, I didn't do nothing wrong. I mean, you know.
I wonder if he had that. I wonder how that would have turned out, because there's no physical evidence. It's a he said, she said. Right.
But they could.
Was there other witnesses on the road or no?
No.
Just who's her car versus your car.
Exactly.
I don't see how they could have ever stuck that way.
I mean, come on. What kind of lady actually keeps pursuing this?
Yeah.
You see, it's a 17-year-old kid, like who I was too.
Nutbag.
I wasn't a bad kid. You know, I was like an athlete and this and that. I'm sure she talked to people that knew who I was.
Right.
And the fact that you tried to stick it to me, you're a cunt. You know what I mean? Right?
I told you the story about my ex's phone getting stolen from from Lowe's, right? And the kids that got it like downloaded all the info off it and were trying to sell it to TMZ and stuff. And the police, I figured out they called. I mean, it wasn't too hard to figure out. They're like, hey, we got your phone. I went and got the phone. I was like, oh, thank you so much. I gave them money.
Yeah.
And then like a day later, TMZ's like, do you guys want to comment on this, and this, and this, and this? You know what I mean? And they uploaded it all. And because she didn't have the password, she took it off that day for some reason. Anyway, long story short, the police got them to admit to everything, got the flash drive, got the hard drive, got everything because they admitted to it.
Wow.
They didn't have to admit to it. And the police kind of like, listen, just let us handle this. We'll, you know what I mean? And they did a good job.
That's cool.
And then they came back and said, look, one's enlisted in the military, the other one wants to go to college, this could affect them. Do you want to drop the charge? And we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, they were trying to make a quick buck, you know what I mean? But
yeah, that's kind of shady too.
I wanted to beat the fuck out of him.
But yeah, I'm like, listen,
especially because I looked him in the eye.
I'll drop all the fucking charges. Let me whoop his ass and we'll free and clear.
Bro, I looked these kids in the eye, shook their hand, gave them money, said thank you, appreciate it, did the right thing, and little did I know
How old
these
were they?
motherfuckers.
What'd you say?
17.
Oh, it's old enough to crack.
Oh yeah. But anyway, long story short, they ended up getting nothing. They got got a write up or a warning or whatever. Like went on their record if they did something again, basically. You know what I mean? So, but. And
then I got one time, another time I had to go to court. Actually, I got charged with allowing a DUI person, a drunk driver, to drive my car. Which I'm like, I swear I think they make these laws up.
What is the actual charge?
I allowed
that's a charge?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Really?
So it was my boy Zeller, right?
Yeah, I know Zeller.
We're actually at a party. We're at a party. The cops come, so we all dip. I throw our bottles of alcohol out into the bushes, and then we bounce, right? And then I'm driving my car to go back. We let I don't know how. Now I'm driving to get the alcohol. That's what I was doing. We're going to get back to this house to get the alcohol.
It's fine. It's driving me nuts.
So I'm getting the chopsticks. It's right there. It's on the corner. All right. So anyway, pulling up, I jump out to go get the stuff. I guess her brothers come home. That's how the party got broken up. Brothers were like college kids or whatever, and they come running out with like fucking bats and stuff. And I'm like, you fucking pussies, you know what I mean? And now I'm kind of running away, you know what I mean? I'm like, and I'm telling Dave, jump in the driver's seat because I don't want them to hit my car. I'm like, drive, and I jump in and we take off, and we go down the road, make a left down the street, and we end up in a cul-de-sac. So on the way back of the cul-de-sac, cops are already there waiting for us, and these dudes were standing there talking shit to us, and I'm like, I was talking. I was a little under the influence, and I was talking mad junk. And anyway, they charged Dave with a DUI.
But they're saying that you had knowledge he was drunk. So did you admit? They say, did you know he was drinking?
No, I don't think.
Then you could be like, I didn't know the motherfucker was drinking.
No, but what happened is that he didn't get a DUI. So once he didn't get a DUI, that charge never stuck. Yeah. But I remember we went to the prosecutor's office. Or went to the prosecutor, went to court. The prosecutor brought us in the back. And, we know, like, again, I know some people. He knows some people. They're helping us out. The judge, we kind of knew. And actually, one of the kids that was with us in the process had a parent that was somebody, Mm-hmm. And that definitely helped, I'm sure. But this prosecutor was screaming at us, trying to make an example. He's going to let us go, though. I know he's letting us go, so I'm like, yes, sir. My Zeller, dude, he couldn't help himself. He's had this shit-eating grin on his face. I'm like, I'm looking at him like, and this dude's like, what the fuck is so funny? You find something funny? Oh, and I'm like,
that's just Zeller.
And he couldn't help himself. He was just smiling. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
But that's just Dave. That's just how he is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So those are my two court.
Yeah, I only ever had one, and it wasn't him or me.
Oh, actually, I had another one.
It was the state picked up the charges.
I had another one. Actually, when I got arrested at Bamboo for the fake ID, I had to go to court for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's not fighting.
No, but it's still disorderly, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, my two disorderlies ever were both on Seaside, just for being drunk and obnoxious, basically. And arguing with a bouncer outside of Bamboo one time because I got thrown out and I'm probably just talking shit and there was a cop standing right there. I was like, all right, come with us then. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty par for the course for most kids or most young 20-somethings. But only one fight ever landed me in court. You know the whole story. charges got dropped for both sides. It was a long fucking big hurrah to get to that ending, but it wasn't because he pressed charges. It wasn't because I pressed charges. It was because the state picked up the charges. You know what I mean? They wanted to pursue it. So,
You know, there was a fight. My kids' friends got into a fight and Seaside, typical stuff.
Yeah.
And then someone jumped in supposedly, right? And then they said there was an old guy there, some old guy jumped in and put somebody in a headlock. And I'm like, when you're saying old, what do you mean old? Like our friend, like yeah, about your age. I'm like, probably good chance I know that guy.
wait, put a young kid in a headlock?
Yeah, to break up the fight.
Yeah, you can break it up without putting a kid in a headlock game.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Jeez.
Get some licks in yourself too, Seaside Tony. All right.
Wait, but is it kids your son's age?
Yeah,
you can't do that, bro.
I mean,
if
dude,
you're
those
our
kids
age.
are about my size. Most of them now.
I still can't do that, bro.
Dude, and then the cops. I guess one of the kids was recording it, and suppose they were trying. A kid can record. You can't tell somebody can't record
In public anyway.
Right?
I'm a big,
Yeah.
bro, I'm a big, I don't know if I want to say fan, but I find it intriguing and interesting.
Yeah, that guy was the one you sent me today.
It's funny, right? I used to think
funny.
that guy was annoying.
He's funny.
As
He's a
fuck.
little much though.
He's a lot much, bro. I think.
Like what do you like?
So
the
the
one
guy-
guy,
the-
but it's funny. So the sergeant, the guy that knows his shit, came and said, "Have a good day.
Have a
See you
good day.
later."
See you later. Because the other guy was about to fuck up.
Yeah.
About to have a lawsuit. So I don't know. I'm a fan of one guy. I'm a fan of this guy. His name is Long Island. The name of his YouTube channel is Long Island Audits. Obviously from Long Island, New York, but he travels.
This guy's a Jersey guy. The guy you sent me.
Yep, I think the guy's a Jersey guy. But this guy travels all over, and he's my favorite because he's always starts out as respectful. Some of those guys are just looking. There's another guy that I watched that are just definitely trying to bait, antagonize, bait, annoy, and hopefully end up with, an antagonistic situation where that they can video and they can, because they know the law. They know it very well. And they kind of humiliate. And sometimes I think they even look for lawsuits. I don't feel like this guy looks for it. He does file lawsuits. Sometimes I think rightfully so, but I think he's always respectful. I'm definitely a fan of what he does. And I think law enforcement officers are becoming much more educated that you have no reasonable expectation of privacy anywhere in public. Now that includes any public building.
Anyway, okay, so a jiu-jitsu school.
That's private. You own
It's
that.
private?
It's open to the public. It's not owned by the public.
Okay. You sure?
A great positive. A great
So
example.
a nail salon.
Open to the public. Privately owned.
So that dude was filming inside.
No, he was not. The guy I sent you today was on the sidewalk.
I know, but he was.
He was on the sidewalk.
You're right. I was watching a different one
That's-
though. I went on the same thing,
that's
but
paid
I know.
for by the public.
I was watching a different one though,
Yeah.
and the dude was like, "You're filming all the businesses," and he's filming from
Probably
outside though, from
Yeah.
outside filming in though,
Totally legal.
from outside.
As long as
you
you're
can
not
film- you can film
obstructing
it.
the flow of people
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you have a legitimate reason, you're not considered to be loitering if you have a legitimate reason. If these guys are filming for the premise and the to provide content for the YouTube channel, then they're there for purpose, right? But I guess probably the one you see the most is post offices because people don't realize they're owned by the public. The local PD really doesn't have any jurisdiction over it. Now, if there's a guy in there with a gun, the local PD can respond, but they don't have any. It's federally owned, and there's actually a big billboard in there that says you have the right to film in there. And they always, I think it's called like Article 7 or something. They're always quote like, "Go look at the poster 7" or whatever it's called. And anyway, they oftentimes the police think they have jurisdiction. The local PD thinks they have jurisdiction there, and I don't know how I want to word that. I guess they can respond to like emergencies and things like that, but they cannot prevent you from filming there as long as you're not obstructing or causing a, like
For filming a porno.
no, that's different. You can't do that. Although did I tell you I saw that the gay pride parade? I think I sent you that thing. There was a guy there filming. I think he was a conservative. Filming, talking to the cop, saying, "Look, if I just want to take my pants off right now, walk around with my dick out, can I?" And the one cop's like, "I don't care what you do." The other cop's like, "Yeah, absolutely.
As long as you're not hard
As
or
long
erect,
as you're not
yeah.
erect or masturbating, you can do whatever you want." Isn't that fucking great? Little kids everywhere, grown men can walk around with their cocks fully out on display as long as they're not in the act of masturbating or fully
Well,
erect.
then you're not going to be involved.
I knew that was. I don't even want to say coming because you got a joke for that. I knew you were going to say something like that. But how crazy is that?
Yeah, no.
How crazy is that?
Well, look
and it's becoming the norm. That's the crazy part.
Governor Murphy, your governor.
Not my governor.
It's your governor. You voted for him.
Not my governor.
You guys go to the same Botox Botox.
Chitterelli was my guy, and then he fell off the face of the fucking planet. Where'd you go, bro? Fell off the face of the planet. He took a little payola there. He took a little payola.
But anyway, what is this now? Murphy is he's suing a couple school districts because
Monmouth County.
Because they won't.
Because his state policy is that they
don't ask, don't tell. No, no. If
that's the military.
No, I'm joking. No, his state policy is if a kid wants to
change their identity
and get sexual and
a boy wants to be
right, but also get treatment, right? Get like surgery. No, okay.
Just identify as. I believe. I don't think that they can. Maybe they can give avenues to research, but they can't. They're not. They can't. At this point, schools cannot offer that as a service. Is that what you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
I'm saying like if say they go to a doctor and get this procedure that they don't have to tell their parents.
Well, yes, but I mean that's I don't see how a kid.
So what is
basically if a kid is born a male, biologically is a male, let's say, and goes to a school in New Jersey and says, look, I want to be called, his name is Fred, I want to be called Teresa, and I identify as a girl. The school is saying, or Murphy is saying, the school has no obligation at all to notify the parents. Now, mind you need a permission slip to go on a field trip. You need a permission slip to take
permission slip
to
fucking take Advil, Tylenol.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but
for anything, but you don't for that. He wants the parents to have no involvement whatsoever in that decision.
I don't think he's a very good governor.
Not at all. I don't think so at all.
I think he's just part of the machine.
I agree.
He's not even from New Jersey.
I agree.
He's like you.
Because I'm not a Jerseyan because I grew up in Maine. Am I a Jerseyan now?
No, you are.
Am I a maniac?
You're a little bit of both.
A Jersey-yak?
I don't know. It's debatable.
So I mean, yeah, it's essentially 3 school districts. I think it's Middletown, which is Murphy's hometown, isn't it? Isn't Middletown his hometown?
I thought Red Bank, right? I thought he lives on Navesink.
He's in Middletown, but it's like Red Bank right there.
Middletown?
Yeah.
What's the other 2?
Manalapan and I think
Marlboro. I think that's
all
it.
the M's.
Right.
All the M's.
Which they're saying, if you read about it, they're saying predominantly red counties, right?
Middletown, Manalapan, Marlboro. Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
And Jersey is overall predominantly blue.
I don't know.
Is this
No.
This is because they're saying this could cost millions. Now there are parents who are standing up and saying, "Look, we're going to sue. Just like he's suing, we're going to sue." You know what I mean?
Like to beat his ass.
Frank's answer for everything is violence.
I honestly, that is the end all though.
For men, yes.
No, it's the end all for everybody.
Okay, explain.
Like, okay,
I'm 100% with you that men that are in agreement should be able to go on the street.
But it literally
fuck each other
it's
up.
the very end all. Like if a cop comes, that's the end all. Like you could listen to the cop. If you don't listen to the cop, what's going to be the end all?
Oh, he's going to be there?
No, violence is coming. Like violence is going to happen. Violence is always the very end. It never gets taken that far.
There's no question.
But if someone decides to like say fuck it, I'm going, then some people do. Violence is the end.
Yeah.
In some way, whether it's like you're physically arresting someone or you're getting shot or you're getting punched, violence is the end.
Well, almost every civilization ends in violence, right? And then it kind of has a resurgence as something new. I mean, we almost always end in violence.
Or begin in violence.
Well, yeah. It's the ending and the beginning of a new era, right? So to speak, or a new civilization and a rebirth of humanity in many ways, right? So yeah, it is. But you're saying that in this example, there's going to be some violence come out of this? There could be. I'm telling you, it's a passionate subject.
Well, there has been already, right?
Well, they sicked the FBI on every parent that said anything.
Yeah.
So that was the federal government's response: is make concerned parents that spoke up.
But I'm saying, but when we're saying they keep shoving this shit down everyone's throat. That's what it's going to lead to, right?
Well, I think if I'm following you, I think you're saying that kids are like going to be the last stand for a lot of us. Yeah, I agree. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It'd be my last stand. I always say my last stand is my doorstep. When you come for my rights in my house, if I haven't done anything wrong, right? If I'm not robbing banks and, raping and pillaging and all that sort of stuff, and I'm a law-abiding citizen, yet you come to take my rights away on my doorstep, that's my last stand. But it it could be the school now, Although I haven't heard, I'm pretty involved. Jenny and I co-parent well. I've heard really nothing I'm not going to say where my kids go to school, but I haven't heard anything there bad yet.
I hear all this crazy shit.
Yeah, well, parents are saying, look, if he's suing, we're suing. You know what I mean?
I wonder how that goes.
Yeah, it's going to end up in, the problem is when parents form together, you're kind of paying on both ends, right? Because if he's suing, right, your taxes are paying to fund his lawsuit, right? Right, he's not funding that personally, right? But if you're combining as parents, right, you have to pool your money personally, right, to sue, unless someone takes it pro bono,
To sue the government?
To sue the state.
You can, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
People do it all the time.
Sure. It would go to federal court, I would imagine, right?
But you don't think someone like a lawyer, like a civil rights lawyer would pick something up like that?
I would imagine somebody will take that, as a pro bono case. I would imagine, I would think, I think there's a lot of legitimacy there, and I think even talking about this topic, just bringing it up, people that are on the other side of the aisle, automatically you're going to get labeled as like a homophobe, and you don't love transgender kids and all this. Listen. You're overstepping the boundaries of that is where I think we're at. It's not that kids don't have a right to do whatever you want, but when you're saying, that you're removing a parent's rights of my child because of state policy.
I don't know though. Like, if you're a kid and you're going to tell your teacher you want to cut your dick off, and you don't want your parents to know, something went wrong in that household, right? A little bit.
Yeah, I would think so, but okay. So how do you think you handle that? You think that the parent should be investigated? The school has an obligation to notify, like, Child Protective Services or something? You're losing me.
What do you mean losing you? I just made a statement. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not trying. I didn't give you a math problem.
Right.
What
Okay.
are you talking about?
So you're okay with it?
Okay with what?
You're saying that if a kid goes through the teachers and says, look, I want to cut my dick off and I don't want my parents to know, you're in favor of them saying, okay.
I'm not saying anything. This guy wants to.
I'm asking you for your opinion.
He wants to be like, are you a Republican or a Democrat?
I'm asking you for your opinion. I've got a fucking podcast, bro.
No.
If you want
No, what do you mean? I just made a statement.
What is your opinion?
Do I think? What do I think? I think I'm sure.
Do you think the parents should get notified or not? It's a simple question.
I'm saying I think the parents should get notified, but also maybe the fucking state needs to get notified because why?
That's my question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah. So maybe the state needs to get notified because there's something. Think about it. If your kid has wanting to change your sex is a pretty profound or pretty big thing to come up with, right? And your parents should be the first person you share something crazy with, right? You would think, and especially at a young age. And then you go to the teacher and be like, don't tell my parents. That's kind of wild to me.
Yeah. All right. So I was just curious what you think. So you're saying that maybe that should get passed up to some sort of
how about
social service?
say anything. Any time a kid was thinking they want to mutilate their body and change their body or change their sex.
But I think you're taking it to the extreme because they just want to be called something. They just want to be referred to as a girl. They might not want to go. They might not be saying, look, I want my private parts cut off and I want to be physically made into something that I was not biologically. I think you're just going a step above where it is right now. I think right now they're just saying, I want to identify as a girl and I'm a boy, or a boy as a girl, and I don't want my parents to know.
I still think that something should be talked about. Obviously, if they're going to and trying to get away from their parents, they're not talking to their parents about it. They should have like a someone that comes in where they can talk to. Because I'm sure half these people that have these, more than half that have these thoughts of being in the wrong body, this or that, are just mentally a little I don't want to say challenged, but having a mental moment or issue that probably could be talked out, maybe, but they don't have the relationship that they have with their parents, and they need someone that they can relate to or talk to. And I'm not saying that the parents should not know about it. Of course they should know. I mean, you got it.
The parents should know about everything.
Of course.
Especially the fact that everything else needs a permission slip, but that doesn't.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. But I think you're speaking from the mind of a very involved parent, and you know that it's highly unlikely to happen with your kids because you're extremely involved. Same. I feel the same. I think that's highly unlikely to happen. So.
How about that? You're let's keep going on this road. What is that? The song Jason Aldean? Is that what it is? Aldean? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
You hear the song?
Yeah, you hear all the critics and what they're saying about him, that it has racist undertones.
Why though? What
you have the racist
what is
undertones.
racist though about it?
Nothing. They're the racist. The people saying that are absolutely racist.
Right?
Absolutely undeniable. There's nothing even remotely close.
Try that in a small
to
town.
Race.
Right?
If you read the
song?
lyrics, which I have, I've read them. I've listened to the song.
You read?
I can
you
read. I can read.
You probably can read those lyrics.
Yeah. See, people like you stereotyping. Not even close. These dog whistles that these people are hearing are because you want to hear them. So you're the racist. There's nothing in it, and lots of listen. All they've done.
What are they trying to say?
All they've
though?
done is boost his song.
Oh,
it's like
course,
number one now. A bunch of other
I hear a bunch of artists are saying they're going to pull my shit off CMT.
Take it off CMT.
They said CMT needs the Bud Light treatment.
Yep.
You like my accent?
Go woke, go bro. That cost them what, $30 billion?
Yeah,
something like that. It's not million. I believe it's billion. Isn't it 30 billion, not million, right? Am I wrong?
Billions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're reeling from that one. So, listen, people are getting tired of it getting shoved in their face, you know what I mean? I think as a whole...
It's almost, though, it really is, though, this whole canceling thing, it's almost a blessing in disguise.
Oh, I see it as a blessing.
Right?
I mean, we're pretty much canceled. I don't give a fuck, do you?
I mean, we're not.
Kind of.
We never got... I mean, what's the opposite of canceled? Honestly, subscribed, right?
Yeah.
We're no one to subscribe to cancel. You know what I'm saying?
If we did get canceled or shadow banned or whatever it is we are, do you care that much?
No,
because you stand up for what you believe in.
I mean, I'm just
mind.
myself, and
I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. That's what I say.
Yeah,
I'm gonna speak my mind. I think I'm pretty even keeled. We're pretty tolerant. We're pretty accepting. I think we both at one time considered ourselves pretty middle. Now I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm nothing. I'm a common sensican, bro. I told you that.
Right.
Because all these people are evil.
They're evil. Absolutely.
All of them.
They're evil.
Yeah.
Talking politics.
Pretty much politics.
Yeah. I agree with you now. I didn't before. I do
Yeah.
now. I see some people up there that I find, I guess I won't say, it doesn't matter, but, there are certain...
Promising
Senator Hawley, like they're guys.
Who?
Senator Hawley.
Oh, is he the one in the wheelchair?
No, he's younger dude. I don't know how to describe him. I forget where's Senator Hawley from?
South Carolina?
Missouri.
I don't know him then.
But anyway, I hear him speak. I see him grilling people. I see him, like the FBI putting them on blast. And I love it, but nothing ever comes from it. So do I think he's evil? No. But is he getting shit done? No. But is it his fault? I don't know. Is there too many rhinos up there? First of all, I'm with you now. I was always an independent my entire life. Just 2016, I registered as a Republican just to vote in the primary. I kind of almost regret it, but I'm very much like-minded with you now. I wasn't until recently. Like, they're all fucking evil. They're all fucking evil.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to see that now. We need to create a new party. Create a new party, Frankie.
It's not going to happen, though.
What would it be?
Someone tried.
What would it be?
Common Sensikins.
Common Sensikins. Would you join that? Would you join the Common Sensikins?
Oh, yeah.
I would.
You got to have common sense, though, Raj.
I don't have it? Common sense?
You got some common sense. That's probably all you got.
You wouldn't let me join your party?
No, you would. You'd be all right.
I'm in.
You could reach tall stuff,
What did you let Andrew in?
Yeah. Got the tech guy.
Would you let Renee in?
Someone's got to cook. You were fucking done, bro.
We weren't canceled before. We're fucking canceled now.
She likes to cook. Okay? All right.
Oh, my God.
I like to eat. We're a good team.
Yeah.
We're a good team.
You actually don't like to eat, though.
No, I like my wife's food.
Yeah. I go out to eat with you. And
I eat.
listen, you're retired now, so it's better. I feel like you were always on a diet. Every time we went out to eat, you're like, you didn't actually say it. You could just tell by the portions you were eating and what you were eating. Because you were always like fucking, you know what I mean? But you do eat now. You do eat now. You'll actually partake in some booze now, too, a little bit.
Here and there.
A little bit.
I did. I drank too much the other day.
Yeah?
I got burnt, man.
You did get burnt. I got to the party, which was a beautiful day, and you put a shirt on when I got there.
Yeah, no. That was from the day before on the boat, man. Jeez.
Yeah, you got roasted, right?
It was good, though. It was a good day.
I took the jet ski over and met you guys yesterday. Grayson didn't used to like going on the jet ski. He didn't like going fast. Now 70 miles an hour. He's like, go, Dad, go.
Yeah.
I let him drive for a little bit. Is there a rule now you can't get your boat or safety class? Oh, you can't drive anything over like 5 horsepower until you're 18 now or something like that?
Yes, 10. Over 10 horsepower.
10 horsepower, yeah.
So you're 16.
Is it 16?
16, I think, maybe. But I know a kid. Not my kid. But I know a kid has a 25 horsepower motor. He took the sticker off, put a 9.9 on there.
It's fucking genius. That's genius.
Oh, yeah.
Got to beat the system.
You're a short kid, man. You know?
When did you start losing your faith in the government? Mine was recent.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be
I didn't
like...
even think of it. I didn't even think of it like that. Like, I don't know. Probably when the cops yelled at me when I was a little kid.
When I was a kid... Well, that's like a local level, but yeah, I hear you. When I was a kid, I remember hearing about national debt. This is stupid, but it's how my mind worked. And I was such a proud, as a kid, I was raised to be a, proud American patriot. Like, the government is there for you. And, like if you go enlist, it's such a loyal and honorable thing to do. And, and then I remember, hearing about the national debt. And I was like, well, if we all just took some of our money, if like every one of us took like, a couple $100 and gave it to the federal government. They could pay. As a little kid, I remember thinking this. Fuck you, bro. Fuck that.
But
They just ring up debt.
The Garden State Parkway was built to not be a toll road.
No, I believe it.
It was, we're just going to start the tolls just to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
And now they just keep upping them and upping them, upping them.
The middle class pays for everything. Everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Someday I'll be where you're at. I won't have to worry about it. But.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm almost, I'm getting close.
To the gym?
To a spot, yeah.
That's good, buddy.
Getting close to a spot, I think. Hopefully know some more news by next week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. Can't go wrong with that. I mean, what are you going to name it? Frankie Edgar MMA?
Frankie Edgar Iron Army Mixed Martial Arts Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy, yeah.
That's a little long, but I like that.
Well, it's going to be the sign, and then, you call it Iron Army.
Yeah, like that.
You see Biden regime proposes ban on sale of some portable gas generators.
Yeah,
I heard something about like he wants us to get rid of our water heaters. No gas, nothing gas.
Pizza ovens.
But you know why they want to do this? I think.
So they get everything electric, everything on the grid, and they're going to get us on a social credit score eventually. Yeah. And if you're not a good citizen and you don't do everything you're told, your credit score goes down. Now you can only buy bread and milk. That's it.
I'm listening to this guy on Rogan right now where he's talking about AI and saying it's like pretty much USA and China are like the leaders of AI.
Mm-hmm.
And he says China's AI is like a very like authoritarian, totalitarian type of AI where they're trying to control you, monitor you, all that type of stuff. Ours maybe not so much.
It's the exact same here. They just can't talk about it and implement it yet because we have
rights and
certain things in place, like the Constitution.
Right. But still, once AI takes
every
over,
smart device is listening to everything you do. If you got a smart TV, you got one of these, you got.
You're not listening, though.
No, well,
because you're not smart.
No, but they're listening to everything, especially. I mean, listen, they're not actually like Frankie and Rob. But if you get on their radar, then they are. Then they're
For
paying
sure,
attention.
you think we're on their radar?
Probably not yet, but we might be a little blip, oh, Frankie and Roger over there. They probably got a guy that listens about 30 seconds a day, but then
Well, remember.
It's
Do you
just
remember? Do you remember?
keywords.
Do you remember this though? Like, I wonder if it's like this. Well, it's probably not, because now it's like you can do whatever you want with the NSA. They can do whatever they want with the whole new Patriot Act and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remember,
That's how they got in.
mob movies. If you remember them, especially Casino. Like when you answer the phone, they got to talk for like a good 2 minutes of non-business.
Yeah, and they click off.
And then they have to click off. They can't listen if it's not talking business.
Well, it's all.
Think that's true?
Well, probably
Back then?
Probably, yeah.
Now it don't matter. It's like we got.
But there are algorithms now. Like we're not supposed to swear within the first 2 minutes of our podcast because
that's AI.
it triggers.
That's AI, though.
Right.
You know
Keywords.
that?
That's what I just said. Keywords, right? But okay, so what's your take? I mean, listen, I don't know how involved you want to get, but like the Patriot Act, right? Got passed after 9/11, right?
Correct.
And people that used to say like 9/11 was an inside job and Building 7, right? Building 7 wasn't even hit and it collapsed inside of itself and ended up in the basement. And it was a
Bro, the day
do you
before-
think there's
the
a chance that was a government job?
Dude, I told you, I read, I can't talk. I listened to this podcast called Conspiracy Theories, and they talked about how the Bushes, the Bin Ladens, and another group
Are all related.
invested. No, not related.
you were gonna
Bin
say-
Laden and George Bush are cousins.
Well, supposedly they're related to Osama. I mean, sorry, Obama. Obama.
No. But yeah, supposedly that they are all invested in the same company somewhere down the line.
Right, but I'm just making a simple overview point here that the Patriot Act got passed solely because of that act, right?
Correct.
That act of terrorism. And look what it did. It opened up the ability
they say
for the federal government to spy on anybody they want
say-
at any cause, at
They
any time.
say the Cold War was probably one of the starts of us losing our rights. They started implementing stuff like the I don't know exactly what stuff they put in, but stuff like the Patriot Act. That's what I heard.
Really? Yeah. Listen, we are,
Well, this is what
That's
this guy
why
was
you-
saying, though. This is what this guy was saying, because he's like, this is a way, because they're trying to control AI. Because how do you get because everyone's all worried about AI going bad. It's like, well, how do you get AI to go bad? It can have it tell lies. So right now, that's what they wanted AI to do. They want AI to tell lies, right? Because they won't tell like say the Wuhan theory or masks aren't good for you. Like they wanted to go with the narrative. So it's essentially lying, right?
Right.
So they were saying, where was I going with this? I thought I had this really good thing.
You get hit in the head, though, bro. It's okay.
I do.
Nobody's mad at you. Nobody's mad at you. But okay, for example, like
No, wait. Let me
go ahead.
think this out. Let me think
Gather.
this out. But so we're worried about censorship, right? So that's what they're going to try to say. They're going to try to say, oh, AI. They're going to try to use the fact that we're scared of AI and what could happen to it, and they're going to censor it and they're going to make it just say what they want to say. So it's not going to be real AI. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how they're going to be able to put these restrictions on AI, but it's really putting restrictions on ourselves.
Yeah, no, I see.
You
what
know
you're
what I
saying.
mean?
I get it. I get what you're saying. But you I remember the first time ever I either sent you a clip or I brought up First Amendment auditors. You're like, fuck those guys. You remember? You're like, fuck those guys. They're troublemakers.
No, well,
the reason I like them because listen, I had the same take when I first started, and some are scumbag. Some I believe are 100% doing it and another reason we feel that way is because we're friends with a lot of cops and we like cops. And I don't like harassing cops. And a lot of times these guys come across as being harassers, right? But then there are guys like Long Island Audit who I actually like. And now I'm a fan now because he is protecting our rights. Whether you believe it or not, whether you think he's an asshole, whether you think he's just trying to get rich, whatever, he is pushing back. And he does it. To me, he's the most respectful one that does it. Pushes back and protects our rights and our freedoms in a very specific way, right? And his cause is basically the First Amendment, right? And the Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure, because a lot of times they try to take his camera illegally and things like that and search him and get his ID. And you can't, if you didn't commit a crime, you can't ask for ID.
So wait, you don't have to give anybody your ID. You don't have to tell anybody who you are, right?
If you have not committed a crime or been suspected of committing a crime and the police officer cannot articulate what that is, you do not have to show your ID.
So what about speeding? That's a crime.
Yeah, that's a crime.
What if they just pull you over?
No, they always make up. If they want to pull you over, they're going to make up something. You went over the line. Your license plate light is out.
Yeah.
They're going to make up a reason because they suspect something bigger, like you're drunk driving or you have drugs in the car. They'll always find a reason. And when you're in a vehicle, it's pretty easy. That's why this guy's never in a vehicle. He parks his car way away, or he gets dropped off, or they always say when they can't get his ID, they're always like, "Where's your car parked?" He's like, "Don't worry about where my car's parked." You know what I mean? So I do like him because he's the guy, and there are other guys. Listen, everybody's kind of doing it now because it's kind of taken off, and he gets millions of views, and I'm sure he's a millionaire from it, right? But I believe that his original intent, I do. I mean, I could be totally wrong because actually, listen, police departments are hiring him now to come and give speeches about how to conduct themselves in certain situations when they encounter, because it's becoming more of a thing, a First Amendment auditor. I'm just, I'm not a fan of all of them because some of them I sent a guy today that was doing it that was kind of like, I would probably punch that guy in his face because he was being
like, chill, bro. Chill. I'm just chilling.
Yeah. But he's obviously, he's playing a
but
character.
honestly though, this
guy doesn't play a character.
But that to me is like, all right, he's non-confrontational.
Yeah,
he's not
he was very
threatening,
non-confrontational.
He was chill. All right, that's, but still, even then, like, if I was the cop, I'd go.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I would get it.
I'd fucking take his phone and slam it on the ground. Like, now what? Now what?
But you would never be a cop. Neither would I. We could never be a cop because you're too. You just can take so much shit, and so can I. But there was a time where I thought I wanted to be a cop, but yeah, I probably don't have the proper temperament for it. Neither do you, bro. Mm-hmm. You could never be a cop.
No.
But anyway, yeah. So, and part of the reason now, when I didn't like those guys at all, when I first started watching them, I like them now because they protect our rights, and that's how you do it. Is you got to push back. You know what I mean? That's the only way you're going to protect your rights. And it has to start on a local level. Like these cops have to, be like, listen, you know what? You're right. Because they always try to enforce policy. Yeah. Policy is not law. Because a lot of buildings will have post office. Oh, policy, no cell phones in here. That's not a law. Fuck you. I can film in here. You know what I mean? Policy is not law.
Right.
You can make a policy. We can only serve you if you do handstands on your way in.
I feel like some parking lots have can't turn here. I'm turning there, bro.
Oh, there's tons of I don't
know.
Parking lots?
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't know about parking lots.
Like you can't turn this way. Why? I'm doing it.
Was it a private parking lot?
I don't know.
That would be up to, I guess. If it's privately owned. See, these guys will only go. They'll often film from a sidewalk, which is publicly owned, right? Police departments publicly owned, so they'll go into. Now, if there's a sign that says on a door, authorized personnel only, that's the threshold. You can't pass that. But if there's no sign, like a lot of times they'll go in the back parking lot, which is designated for employees and police cars, and they'll just start filming. And it'll say police parking only or whatever, and the guy will be like, I'm not parked back here, I'm walking back here. We paid for this parking lot, I can film back here, and you have, the rule is you have no reasonable expectation of privacy in public. None. So anything you're doing in public can be filmed. A lot of people will say, I don't want my license plate on film. Do you know how many times a day? First of all, Big Brother has a camera on you everywhere. Yeah, I know, but still, everywhere.
I get that. I would imagine someone just putting a camera in your face. That
but the guy, he said that, he addressed that. Long Island auditor was like, you know how many times a day people scream at me, you're shoving a camera in my face? I've never had a camera closer than like probably 3 feet to somebody ever, he said. I never shoved my camera.
Give me 3 feet.
I don't know where 3 feet is.
What do you think 3 feet is?
I would say 3 feet would be about...
Give me the fucking phone. Give me that fucking phone. That's what I'm doing, all right?
That might be your best one yet, pal. I didn't know that was coming.
That's what I'm
doing. That was good. That was good. You cracked my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess technically that can be assault, I guess. Even grabbing the phone because you're making contact, right? Yeah. Even though you just touch the phone, it's still contact. It'd be like you hitting me with a bat, right? Yeah. So, I don't know. You'd be a horrible cop. I would be a horrible cop. Because, yeah, people that try to antagonize me generally antagonize me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah, right.
You want to antagonize me? You fucking got my attention. You know what I mean? So, I would never be a good cop. But I also, and I think you do the same, don't go to situations where you know you're going to be antagonized.
No, I don't want to be.
Remember you called me one time, you said because we like where we're from, right? I love Tom's River, right?
Yeah.
You said, "Yo, I heard Antifa's gonna be downtown tonight. Let's go take a ride." Remember? I was like, "What are we gonna do? Protect downtown, you and me?"
I know.
But I would have fucking gotten in the car and taken that ride with you in 2 seconds.
I know, but really,
And for what?
Yeah.
We just got in trouble. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have some fun though. Process.
Yeah, because you see fucking morons smashing windows out of places that we visit with our families. Yeah,
Yeah.
it pisses you off, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
You what's up with Jamie Foxx? Is there a new video? Someone said is that what you guys are saying?
I heard it. I heard that he was sighted on a boat.
But did you see the
then
one?
I heard
like his double.
Yeah, well,
And-
his goatee looks totally
No,
different.
his hairline was like
Yeah, hairline's off. Goatee
Yeah.
looks like it's like
painted on.
can't even grow a goatee. It's like spotty. And usually he's kind of known for having like a full goatee.
Well, his hairline was impeccable. Now it's
Yeah.
literally painted on.
Yeah, I don't. So do you believe that? Because that's that's a lot of speculation about a lot.
You haven't heard about him at all, right?
No, I saw the guy put a video out and just said thank you for all the love, but that's the video everybody's saying doesn't look anything like him. Thank you everybody for your concern, your thing. But as far as public sighting, there was one that I heard where people saw him on the back of the boat, and then I heard that was dispelled. So I don't know. I guess I haven't really looked into it that much, but yeah, he's certainly kind of off the grid. But didn't the same exact thing happen with that football player that collapsed on the
No,
field?
but he was not that long. He was. I mean,
Well, they said he came back to
it
a
seemed
game.
long. It seemed long because
Has he
like,
been?
it
You've
was-
seen him around lately?
Oh yeah,
He has been.
yeah. He came. He did interviews.
Well,
and
he
stuff.
went to that game, but he was always
I
behind
know,
like
yeah,
a curtain, or he had a hoodie on, or
Yeah, they were either
was
that
weird.
wasn't him or they were messing with us.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no. This is different.
Just saw the other day an ESPN
An anchor, supposedly,
anchor
right?
that was pro getting the boosters and all the shots.
And he went
collapsed.
down, right?
He went down. Yeah.
Damn. Like on TV. Let's see. Wow.
See Tucker with the governor. Who was Tucker? Who did Tucker do the interview with? And he said to the governor,
Yeah, I don't know.
How many shots did you get?
And he said, well, how many did you
The
get?
guy
He goes,
"Well,
0.
How many did you get? And he goes 0. Huh.
Yeah.
I forget.
He did that whole it was a Republican thing. He talked to DeSantis. He talked to Pence. He talked to
The governor of Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah, he grilled Pence. Put Pence on the spot.
but Pence.
Now, was that a soundbite? Was it a soundbite? Had to be a soundbite.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Where he's like,
I
that's
don't
not
believe
my
anything.
concern. I don't. Yeah.
Had to be cut off. I don't believe anything I see on TV.
Yeah.
I don't care what network it is. Twitter'd probably be the one I
Dude,
trust
what did
the
Mel
most.
Gibson say? Right? He says, "Don't believe anything you hear, and only half of what you see."
That's right.
That's fucking
100%.
good, dude.
Yep. George Carlin had it probably figured out before anybody did. He was what, late 70s, early 80s?
When he died,
No, when he was up on stage ranting against,
his whole fucking life.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
know.
mean?
Well, okay, but when was his heyday? Like when
No,
was he?
but his fucking
whole
whole
life?
life. Yeah.
Really? I thought he always had a bald head and gray hair, so he had to be
Bro,
at the end of his-
he had bald head and gray hair forever.
All right, but he wasn't doing it in his
Well, but, like,
20s.
dude, he had a special one special a year forever,
Okay.
like 20-some years.
Anyway, he's one of the first that I can remember that just rallied
Pushed
against
back
the
against-
man.
yeah.
Yeah. The system.
Seven word. What was it? Seven
He said
curse
he
words
said
you
they
can't
they
say?
all play for the same team and we ain't on that team or something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. It's,
No,
it's
they're
real.
part of a club and you're not in it.
Yeah,
That's what he
part of
said.
a club and
They're all part of a club
not in it.
and you're not in it.
That's what I said.
And I
told
used
you.
to think he was a little wacky when I heard him back in the day. I was like, oh, this guy's
No,
like
he's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, as a comedian, but
Yeah.
the way he would talk about, because again, I was always like, oh, the government's good. Government's good. It's good. They care about you.
Yeah, they were
They
whipping
don't
you,
give a fuck about you.
charging you twice.
Twice. They charge you more than twice.
They charge double.
Yes, sir. What else? You got Franklin?
It's a good go, my man.
Oh, did you see the Powerball lottery winner in Cali? Someone won, but a woman, there was the store where they won. By the way, the store gets $1 million.
Always?
No, just because it was a huge Powerball.
Okay.
It was, well, if you take the,
So how is that? The store?
if
Like
you take the
store
lump sum,
owner?
if you took the lump sum, you get $558 million. But if you take the payout, you get 1.08 billion over 20 years or whatever. You know what I mean?
What they do?
Well, they don't know. I don't think they know. Still, it was like last Wednesday was wrong, and somebody won.
They don't know who it
While
was?
they were doing the interview in the store with the store owner, this woman freaked out. Was like, "Oh my god!" and ran out of the store and jumped in her car. And they're like, "A woman was in the store that won it and all." And they're like, it was a fake. It was a fraud. Because she never came forward after that. So
So they don't know who won it then?
No, the last I heard, they don't know who won it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But can you imagine that much money?
I would take the 500 million.
Probably, because who knows?
100%.
Who knows what's going to
You're
happen?
fucking dead the next
Yeah.
day.
Who knows if that fund's going to collapse?
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't trust anything because that's run by the state, especially California.
Yeah. Newsom's long guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Raj.
All right, pal.
All
Good
right,
go,
Roger.
buddy.
All right, Roger.
You owe me a phone. You broke my phone.
Find and follow us on YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and most other podcast platforms. Roger, take it away.
This guy.